Which field exercise proved your unit's SOPs were written by someone who never deployed? February 2019. Our battalion got tasked with a 2-week cold weather training exercise in the mountains. Standard Arctic warfare preparation. Our operations officer, Captain Brennan, handed out this thick manual. New cold weather SOPs freshly printed. Somebody at division headquarters had spent months writing detailed procedures for winter field operations. The manual looked impressive. Color photos, detailed diagrams, step-by-step instructions for everything from setting up shelters to maintaining weapons in sub-zero temperatures. My platoon sergeant, Staff Sergeant Quincy, flipped through it during the brief. His face got progressively more concerned with each page, but he stayed quiet. New procedures meant someone important thought they were necessary. Day 1 started normal enough. Negative 15 degrees, 2 feet of snow on the ground. We loaded up our trucks and headed to the training area. First sign of trouble came during shelter setup. The SOP specified exact spacing between tents. 40 feet apart, measured precisely with tape measures. Seemed reasonable on paper. In reality, trudging through waist-deep snow carrying equipment 40 feet between each tent wasted 3 hours. By the time we finished, half the platoon had early-stage frostbite on their fingers. Quincy pulled out the manual, reading by flashlight. Says here we're supposed to dig drainage ditches around each tent perimeter. Standard procedure to prevent water accumulation. We were standing on frozen ground covered in snow. Water accumulation wasn't the problem. Hypothermia was. Private Everett, kid from Texas who'd never seen snow before his Army career, looked confused. Sergeant, should we dig through frozen ground in the dark? That'll take all night. That's what the manual says, so that's what we do. 4 hours later, we'd managed to chip shallow trenches around 3 tents. Everyone was exhausted. Still had to set up the remaining shelters. Lieutenant Dalton, our platoon leader, radioed the company commander for guidance. Got told to follow the SOPs exactly. This was a training exercise to validate the new procedures. Day 2 brought the weapons maintenance section to life. According to the manual, we needed to clean our rifles every 4 hours in cold weather. Complete disassembly, full cleaning with specific temperature-controlled solvents. Problem was, the solvents froze solid at 20 degrees. We were operating at negative 10. Specialist Wade tried heating the solvent bottle with a field stove. Bottle melted, chemicals spilled everywhere, created this toxic smoke cloud that sent 3 soldiers to the medic tent. The manual also specified keeping ammunition in sealed containers with desiccant packets to prevent moisture damage. Sounds smart until you realize accessing ammo during a tactical exercise meant opening frozen containers with numb fingers wearing thick gloves. During our first live fire drill, it took me 90 seconds to get a magazine out of the supposedly waterproof, cold weather approved storage container. In combat, I'd have been dead 15 times over. But the absolute worst came on day 5. The SOP included detailed cold weather ration procedures, specified heating methods, eating schedules, hydration requirements. According to the manual, we needed to consume 2 liters of water every 4 hours. Made sense for preventing dehydration, except our water froze solid within 30 minutes of filling our canteens. The SOP solution? Heat water using portable field stoves. Maintain constant temperature between consumption. Each soldier was supposed to keep a stove running continuously to prevent water from freezing. Do you know what 40 soldiers running individual stoves continuously for a week requires? About 6,000 pounds of fuel. We'd brought enough for maybe 3 days of normal cooking. By day 6, we were out of fuel, eating frozen rations and melting snow in our mouths for hydration. Exactly what you're not supposed to do because it drops your core temperature. That night, temperature hit negative 25. 3 soldiers got evacuated for severe hypothermia. The tactical exercise got called off. Back at garrison, battalion commander demanded an investigation. How did brand new SOPs fail so catastrophically? Turns out the manual was written by a contractor, guy named Sterling something, former Air Force logistics officer who'd spent his entire career at bases in the southern United States. Never deployed, never trained in actual winter conditions, never experienced field operations beyond air-conditioned offices. But he had a master's degree in technical writing and knew military regulation format. Division had paid him $40,000 to write comprehensive cold weather procedures based entirely on research and theoretical best practices. Zero practical experience. The manual looked professional because he was good at writing manuals, but following it in real conditions was dangerous and stupid. Quincy wrote a 15-page after-action report tearing apart every procedure. Included photos, testimony from the evacuated soldiers, calculations proving the fuel requirements were mathematically impossible. Report went up the chain and apparently caused some serious problems at division. Couple of officers got relieved for approving procedures without field validation. 6 months later, we got new SOPs, written by actual infantry NCOs who deployed multiple times. Manual was half as thick, printed on regular paper instead of glossy stock. No fancy diagrams, but every single procedure actually worked in field conditions because it was written by people who'd done the job. Sterling's original manual became legendary though. Units across the Army heard about it, started using pulling a Sterling as slang for creating official procedures without practical experience. Last I heard, that contractor is still writing military manuals, just not for field operations anymore. They moved him to administrative procedures where his complete lack of real-world experience can't get anyone killed.